Okay, so here we go again. I'm getting really tired of misconstrued announcements and news on this app, and I'm going to start calling it out. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Case in point, Representative Kahana, I think is his name, was talking about how the Trump administration announced today that they are not continuing the telehealth services for Medicare. And I saw a couple other people floating that around as well that are not up in Congress. So naturally, I went digging to find this announcement, and maybe it's because it's so new and it was today, it just hasn't made news. But I couldn't find anywhere that this was said. But I decided to do some more digging, and here's some other important information I found out that shows this misconstruing of information. Yes, telehealth for Medicare is due to sunset on March 31st of this year, but with some exceptions, as you can see in this overlaid picture. It was originally an extension from back in COVID-19 that's received 1- and 2-year extensions routinely each year with the continuing resolutions always put through. But this last budget fight that they had, they only gave it a 3-month extension. And I'll tell you why. Because they want to put in a permanent measure instead of just a nonstop extension. So while, yes, the extension for these services are supposed to sunset on the 31st, they've already submitted legislation to make it permanent. This is a bipartisan group of politicians, legislators, led by Republican, what's his name, Buchanan. I think he's the senior Republican legislator on the House Ways and Means. But you can see it right there. And in fact, they submitted two different bills to make this permanent, okay? Permanent is a really good solution because then there's no more arguing about continuing this or not through the old COVID legislation. They're literally just going to update the whole thing and make it permanent instead of, do we want to continue it or not? They're going to continue it, guys. This fear-mongering has got to stop. You're causing unnecessary panic where it's not warranted. I don't support Donald Trump. I can't stand the guy, but intellectual dishonesty like this is unacceptable. Now, I'll be concerned if there's resistance to this legislation that's been submitted that I just showed you. Then we need to worry. But I don't see that happening. I'm pretty sure they're going to pass it. They want a permanent solution instead of a constant extension in the budget for old COVID-19 policy that was meant to be temporary to begin with.